Yes, Team Mokua, the Informer, and Team Cyprian, welcome again to another episode. As I told you, I'll be following every step of Morara. And yesterday night, Morara posted something in his wall and later he deleted. So I just want you to read to the public so that at least we can have a discussion. Is he right or is he heading to a wrong direction? So I could like our brother Mokua to read so that we can all understand.
Now, Morara said, I have a small problem, but I also have a solution. I get not less than 600 to 800 calls in a day. It's practically impossible to communicate. And sometimes I miss very important calls or texts because they are just too many for any human being to read. Therefore, I'm in need of an office which shall also serve as the headquarters of the Gen Z revolution. This office should be an own compound home in a very secure neighborhood with alternative entrances and alternative exits. At this office, we will do research, planning, messaging, and meetings. I will also host guests including, but not limited to, whistleblowers who need a safe space to share corruption documents. I will meet comrades in the struggle. I will meet ambassadors of the friendly nations and any other guests by appointment and prior vetting. Okay, it continues.
Yes.
My strategy to own this office is simple. I would like to sell my company Morara Home Furniture to any willing buyer on the following terms. First, full payment of a selling price informed by evaluation of assets and liabilities. I estimate the current value to be around 30 million to 40 million, subject to confirmation. Then, the new owner to rebrand it in a new name and style other than my name. The buyer to understand that the furniture sector in Kenya is majorly an informal sector, and therefore some white-collar systems and structures may be missing and need to be developed. For now, the new buyer to be willing to retain all my staff for a period of 3 months for my continuity and smooth transition. After that period, the staff can be vetted on their suitability to continue to serve. Any willing buyer can send their letter of interest to my lawyers, Solonka and Solonka Advocates, then Commodore Office Suits, that is, I think is in Ngong Road, Kindaruma Road, no, okay, and Off Hood Avenue, Kilimani. Wamepeana the contacts there.
Okay.
Noma.
Now, I think our fans, you have heard from Morara. I think he posted last night,
yes,
and later he deleted.
Yeah.
So this thing I've seen in government bloggers. So I just want to ask a question. Also, I could like to ask our fans. Is it too early for Morara to start selling his, how can we call it? His job or his furniture what? How do we call it?
His furniture shop.
Yeah, furniture shop.
His business.
Yeah, his business at large. Because he has a shop in Nairobi, Nakuru, Mombasa. That means he has to sell all of them. Do you think the reason as to why maybe he is selling, he feels like the government gonna sabotage his business? And do you think he's doing it to blackmail the government so that they will think like he sold the business, but it's in reality it's his? I don't know. What's your take about this?
There are various ways you can take this kind of a message. One of them, Morara has projected a certain scenario where the government is going to come for his business to cripple him completely. And it's very true here that the government definitely will go for Morara. He had said before that somehow the KRA pin, I think it was missing.
Yes.
Something like that. Kuna kitu alikuwa mention mahali.
KRA people, they went to his
that he has
work.
He has not been paying what?
Yes.
Taxes. So generally, those are the weak points that the government is going to use to reach out to him. Another thing, you can also take it from the angle that Morara is sacrificing everything that he has for the sake of the movement. I get in this. Because when he says he wants to sell and establish an office, that seems to be like he wants to, he's sacrificing his own wealth for the sake of the mission of rescuing the government, the country from the lions and hyenas, isn't it? Those are the two perspectives. But this is my opinion about Morara now. I feel strongly that first, Morara is doing very well, and we all accept and we are behind him. But I also feel strongly that he needs to feel safe more than he feels right now. The business is not, we were saying let the government touch Morara. That includes his businesses. If you touch Morara, whether those shops are closed and he has the furniture at home, people will buy from home. So we want to first tell him also that we understand going for a national campaign on a presidential level to go against the current regime, it's not easy. It needs a lot of resources. But I feel strongly that it's one step at a time. There is a time for everything. Right now, I feel strongly, let him solidify the support he needs from us as the youths. Let him be known not by just those who are not in social media, but also those who are in the villages without smartphones. He can do all things that he needs to do, but one thing I need to tell him is that he needs to have some super strategists who are youths, who will come upon, give him a nice strategy on how to reach himself to the people. One thing he needs to understand is this. Before he reaches a point, I've seen him talking about hosting guests, ambassadors, and such kind of stuff. Before he reaches a point to host such kind of people, it's a process. He's not yet there. As per now, he's not yet there. What I can urge him first, let him deal with that. Let him host us on his diaries. Let him host us locally.
The Gen
Zs and millennials. Let him first. When you listen to Twitter, people are still divided on whether to support Morara or not. Let us solidify that base behind him. Let whoever whom he wants to come as a guest know that Morara has a backing of the entire half of the country or maybe more. I get in this. Before he reaches a point where he's having an office with many exits. So there's no exit that Morara can use to run away from government. The only thing I just want him to do is to think very simple. We are all having problems in this country. Let those problems be the meeting point between him and the people of Kenya. Not the office, not any other stuff. Let that be the meeting. We've been talking about Morara, listening to him without an office. Does he have an office in Kisii here?
No, he doesn't.
But we are talking about Morara. I get in this. Also, let him not reach a point people might say him to be ambitious, too ambitious. Let him go with the pace, because what was Samanga, haraka ina nini? Baraka. Step by step. I'd wish Morara to do some few things. Go with the government, deal with this government the way it is, not diplomatically. Go to the ground, expose the projects. Those projects we want, apart from exposing them, let us see the government act upon them. I don't want him to expose our fisheries in Siaya, and then that fishery up to now after being exposed, nothing has happened. We want now Morara to go ahead and improve on that document. Bring on the contractors that were given that point. The money. Let us, if it's a Hungary government that brought this project in Kenya, let him reach the embassy of Hungary. Let us see the embassy of Hungary hosting Morara, asking him the project that you brought to Kenya, it's yet to commence, and you people are quiet. We want to see him detailing these roads that were constructed. We want to see those contractors that were paid almost full amount. The road has not been done. Let us see their names and pictures being brought. Let us know where they live. I get in this. Because right now the government will not assist Morara in any way. It will not assist him. So therefore, and having an office, Morara does not need an office as we speak right now. People calling him. It's true, that one I accept. There's a possibility Morara could be receiving so many calls to as an extent he cannot even take a phone and text someone. So his phones can be so busy as such. Simply get a private number and relax, anguke nayo that private number yake. Then these other ones, somewhere someone will even come up. Someone will come up, a PA, maybe 2 or 3 people that can be receiving calls or even texts. He can even guide on how people can be talking to him. He can even decide and put the number in such a way that he gets text, because you're not Safaricom. He's just an individual. So I personally think that he needs to go with the pace he had before. He started very well. He started from imitating William Ruto. He started by giving him alternative speeches he could have made before. He started now launching the project, exposing the projects. Now let us see how these projects are going to be exposed further and more details to come out. Now we want to see Morara touching the headlines of the country. Whenever he speaks, Citizen TV listens to him, Cyprian TV listens to him. Kila mtu anajua Morara anaongea leo saa 8. That's when the country at large, wazee na vijana watakuwa nasikiza mtu fulani anafanya nini, anaongea. Right now he has a very good space of no opposition in the country, where he's the only person who is exposing the government. He should use that opportunity very well. That opportunity is bigger than an office, because there are so many problems that are happening right now in the country. If he concentrates on them, he will do well. He will go further, and most people trust him. If he goes to this, because he asked for a car, he has a car. If he has asked Kenyans to support him on fuel and other things, Kenyans are supporting him. So I think so far where he is, let him first exploit those spaces that he has as we move a step further. When there will be need for an office, he will feel it from the people. People will tell him, we want you to have an office in Kisii here. We want you to have an office where we can physically present our problems. People will ask for that. Another thing I've heard here, dignitaries, vetting. Let your text to some extent. There's a point here, I realize here, why he needs an office. It's good to chambua it tweet because it is critical. It shows, whatever you speak, it shows a lot what you're thinking and what is your plan. Let us look here. Now, he's saying that he wants to have, this office should be an on-compound home in a very secure neighborhood with alternative entrances and exits. First of all, a secure neighborhood. Hawa watu wa chini already hawezi fika hapo. Let's agree. Do you know right now what we are fighting for the youth ambao wana makazi? They don't know even these neighborhoods. In the word neighborhood in Kisii here, do you have neighborhoods anywhere? Those are things used in Kileleshwa, Lavington, Karen, Runda. You can't have neighborhoods around. Those are the places where we don't want him to brand himself to be that person who is in that level. Sorry, yenye mtu hawezi mpata huwa normal. So no. Another thing is saying here that this office will do research. A research, yes, it's okay. This can be, let him ask Kenyans, I want to have details of this and that. Kuna watu sasa atakaa chini wampe details ya kila kitu anahitaji. Mahali atakuwa hata kama niko Nyandarua. He just posts and say, I need to know the contract of this place. Wakenya watampea. Wakenya watampea vizuri sana. He does not need to be fine. He needs order on what he needs to do. Okay, he can get the information even without having a big office in a neighborhood that is serene. Another thing is saying here, I'll also host guests including but not limited to whistleblowers who need to be safe in a safe space, who need a safe space to share corruption documents. Will they live there? Wataishi kwa hiyo office after sharing these documents? I get in this. Morara needs to know one simple thing. We are not taking him to go and fight. He's going there to go and deliver for the people of Kenya. He has already shown that he has the ability to do his campaigns and actually run the government very well. The only thing he needs to do now is concentrate on that. When he tells us about dignitaries coming, guests coming, ambassadors, I think I saw the name ambassadors here, ambassadors of friendly nations. When are we going to have a conversation of these people here around? We don't want him to have that kind of a mind of going for ambassadors, because these are the people who have messed up this country. You see, the ambassador of America is always with William Ruto. After they have met, the only thing that comes to Kenya is the finance bill 2024. If we have that trajectory right now, it's wrong. Morara now, what he needs to do, he needs first to ensure that he has gotten the support of the people. He's launching his own plan, which is okay. But I want to advise him, I think he listens to this conversation. Let him go with the needs of the people. Okay? Right now we have university students planning demonstrations, isn't it? Right now it could be on that kind of an issue. And be a government, we want this scrapped, let's have what? Help returned. Or else we are going to the streets on this day. Government, this guy is strong. The second thing he needs to do, right now we have teachers crying. Wameenda mshahara na hawajapata pesa. Let him go and tell the CSE want to see the money disbursed to the teachers on this such a date. Walimu feel this Morara is working for us. Right now as we speak, you have counties doctors have not been paid. He needs to speak on behalf, because those who have not been paid, most of them are youths. Okay, in short, I'm saying let him associate more with the problems we have in the country, the youth of this country. Because if you go for the ambassadors, this ambassador, how can an ambassador leave the president and go for Morara? It can't work. How many ambassadors have been visiting Raila Amolo Odinga? None. Unless it's an agreement deal on a sign ya Raila kwenda AU. So unaona sasa? Because we know everyone, right? US is supporting Raila to go to the AU. So in short, we are saying, I think Morara should concentrate and focus on the agenda that he knows all Kenyans want. Okay? Kukomboa nchi. So right now, tunamjua kwa hizo projects, concentrate kwa hizo projects. After that, step by step, learn what people want. The problems are occurring. To finish up, do you know that the Adani thing is confusing us as a country? The airport. Morara needs now to come out and tell us, Adani to leave. If it's the opposition, the way he says, let Adani do what? Leave JKIA first. Tufikirie kama Wakenya kama wanarudi. Like a mind of an opposition. You can't bring a mind of a government and you're in opposition. How can you sit with the dignitaries being vetted? For what? For what? What are they going to discuss? You are not yet there. Okay? It is not yet there. Right now, yeah, lazima go to a ground. And then one thing he has to know that this political journey is not good. It's a rugged terrain. Atakuwa na watu, ni kama umeenda kwa Ndemanga. Ndemanga hiyo field hiyo it's a rugged terrain. Mahali nisema ni kama umpeleke utembee kwa mamawe. It's a rugged terrain that is very rough. Things will happen. And the government is waiting for him to make that simple mistake. With these bloggers, what a bounce on that. So we are telling Morara, there are things you need to avoid. Too much talking on social media. Let him do his job. He knows his job very well. Secondly, let him avoid completely going to these media houses for interviews. Let the climax go here at TV47. Asienda zingine zinamdegrade, zinamlower. Some of these media people are just waiting to ask you one simple question. Wakumalize. Look at what happened to Kasamuel. He was so excited to go to media station. This one, he lives here, he goes to the other one. Akauliza swali moja, what next? Akashindwa kujibu. And that's how he's now irrelevant. Hata akipita hapa nje, hautajua Kasamuel amepita. The reason being of that being excited, of being in a certain space. That's why now we need to see Morara also reach out to friends who can at least mentor him on how to be a go-get. Let him reach to people like this guy for Busia, Okia Mtata. Let him reach to him. Okia Mtata can guide him, can tell him, now my son, this is what you do. Let him reach to such people. Let him go to the people experience in this terrain. Let him come to Kisii here and go to Samongeri. Samongeri will tell him now, this is the terrain you follow. When we see such kind of wisdom being gotten to him, our wazee kwa vijiji wataanza kufeel, okay, huyu kijana anajua cha anafanya. But akijitokeza kama mtu anajua, hapana, itamuumiza. It needs to accept. We don't want just Morara to be us for the youths. Hatuwezi kusema hata Morara ni Mkisii, hata tukumbuki hiyo. We want Morara to be ours as Kenyans who are suffering. Both wazee, wamama na vijana. So he needs to be in that position. Wacha wazee waone kijana anajua cha anafanya, cha anatenda mali anaenda. Wow, simple as that. So
to Team Morara, Team Cyprian and Team Mokua, what's your take about Morara having a new office? Candy, we need your comments so that we can know what you feel or what you think about the new idea. Thank you so much. See you in our next video.